Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day. The final round of the second major tournament of the season. It is the 39th Korea Women's Open Golf Championship presented by DB Group. We are here at the stunning Rainbow Hills Country Club in Umsong-gun in Chungcheongbuk-do. Ready to crown a champion. Will it be a repeat champion? That wasn't supposed to be on the cards, but someone forgot to tell No Sung-hee. Our friends at SBS Golf setting up the broadcast for those listening in Korean. You, my friends, are here with me. So as I always say, it's not a direct translation, but I can do a similar feat, which is to get you ready for the round today. Let's see where things shape up. We'll show you the leaderboard in just a few moments, but verbally, I can tell you that it is tight, and that's exactly how we would want it for a championship Sunday, isn't it? Lee Dong-eun has a one-stroke advantage over No Sung-hee, who is just one stroke back. She was not supposed to be anywhere near the top of the leaderboard. She, my goodness, was 4 strokes back after round 1. She only shot a 71 on Friday, but alas, yesterday's 68 and today's front 9 33 has her knocking at the door. 1.2 billion won. That's what's up for grabs. 300 million is set aside for the champ. It would be another big payday. It would be a second major championship and a defended title, which has been oh so rare at the Korean Women's Open. And she is off and running with a great drive to start the back 9. My name is Adam Jenkins. Great to have you along. We appreciate your continued support and viewership of the KLPGA Tour. Park Ji-young's second, playing, of course, on the par 5 10th. We are focused on the East course. That's where all the contenders are. She does outdrive the green with a back right pin placement today. Lee Dong-eun is our leader. Her tournament thus far, 68, 70, 68 again. Pars in the first 2 rounds, birdie yesterday. When we consider her front 9, you will see a couple of birdies and a blemish-free scorecard. What must be rifling through her mind? Never a winner on the Korean Tour just yet. Now she is an 04 birthday. She is still very much in the infancy of her career, but she came into this tournament in great form. Tied for 8th at the Celtrian Queen's Masters. That was shortly preceded, by a T4 effort at the 13th E1 Charity Open. She has come close, but she has never reached the summit. Speaking of players in unfamiliar territory, Kim Si-hyun, who is also looking for her first victory. She is the leading rookie. Did struggle here on Thursday with a bogey. Friday was a birdie. Yesterday was a par. She also goes for a little extra. Stops just short of the sands. Well, it's not necessarily the crystal blue skies and a sunny set of conditions, but the rain has stayed away, and we will not for one moment begrudge that. Second shot at 10. Down onto the green. It is a good effort. We have numerous national team members in the field, a couple of amateurs in the field. Let's go to 11 next, the par 3. It's Yu Hyun Jo. She is 6 under, putting for birdie. Downhill with a little right to left break. It's not quite going to move on line. Idongan, it's 263 meters in the intermediate cut of rough. Karamzov, the ribbon rough, back into the fairway. It's a good second.
Okay.
Well, now from the rough. Just a nice chip. Always going to be the setup shot. It's a good one for Pak Ji-young. Well, we saw that she was not quite greedy, but certainly powerful off the tee. This is Kim Shi-hyun just before the sand. She has the 5-wood in hand, playing her second. Now a rather lengthy putt, isn't it? Trying to locate the pin and get as close as possible. Finish to the hole for Pak Min-ji. Thursday, always a blank slate. We weren't entirely sure what this week would have on offer, but she is back here on Championship Sunday, and that putt will keep her as we take a look at the most recent refresh of the leaderboard into the top 20. Listen, there's only 15 players under par. It's a tough course. It's supposed to be. It's a major. Pak Min-ji goes to a T18 position. Chae Min-kyung next at 12 with the downhill putt that she is able to find. No Sungi is the next with her second on the par 5. Brings it to a stop just shy of the fringe. How will Kim Shi-hyun fare? Oh, it's overhit deep into the rough.
드라이브합니다. 멈춰주세요.
That leaves Zidonga next, 98 meters to go. The approach at 10. Back right pin placement. We've seen that a few times now. Where will she put it? Well, she's quite literally as back right as she could possibly be. She'll be putting for birdie. On the par 3, Hung Yumin is on the green. She slipped up, we could say politely, but also fairly, when it came to her third round, pardon me, where she shot even and brought her out of the featured group, so she gets to play. It's a pretty good consolation with the likes of Pak Ji-young. She knows a thing or two about winning major championships. It's a very good first shot at 11. Well, Kim Shi-hyun buried in the rough, doing her best to control this to whatever the lie would allow. Back onto the green, but that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the putt for par. No Sungi here at 10. It's a putt for birdie. Left to right breaking. Straighter than she gave herself credit for. One more to finish it off. Hey, it's a good spot to be. Just hang around. Next up, Kim Shi-hyun would drop to 2 back with a miss here. Should be a little right to left, and it is down in the back quadrant of this green. Nice save. It sounds easy to say, just don't bogey and you'll be in contention. It's much harder with the challenging course and the pressure of the major. She is showing calm well beyond her years early in her KLPGA career. Idunga, now she can extend the lead, and who's to bet against her? We'll look right to left from her vantage, a little left to right from ours, but also stays truer. No, it's not quite going to be there, and this is no simple finish either. She rightfully marks. Par keeps her at the top, one hole at a time as she marches towards the finish. Back to the par 3, Hung Yumin to move to -9. In sole possession of 4th, a birdie here would do nothing to change that, but she would move to within 3, and you never say never on Sunday. Decent effort with a bit too much speed. Well, it's still not super straightforward off the tee for Yu Hyun Jo at 12. She's in the rough. And that's the cost, the price you pay. Now Park Ji-young, misjudged. She'll have that short putt for par. Park So-jin has decided to chip. She didn't have much in the way of options here. She was nestled with the rough. Well, it's all about patience. Final group hot on the heels of those on 11 right now. One of the players they're waiting on is Hung Yumin. This is a tricky one. It looks like it should just be a 5-footer. Little left to right break, but it's anything but, certainly with the pressure of Sunday. Tied for 4th this week in her par saves, 91% when you round up. Well, she handles the pressure as she is seemingly born to do. Like water off the duck's back. Not sure about that umbrella. Do we need it? Do we not need it? There is some lingering rain above us. Park Ji-young to stay at 6 under. Should be automatic. Should is always the operative word in this sport. Gets it there.
아이들께 생각보다 홀끝에서 되게 많이 내려오는 거예요.
카메라가 좀 밀리는 거 보세요. 네, 알겠습니다.
Well, with the 8-iron, our leader has the green light to match her vest. Left side of the green will make a bit of a move towards the middle. Nano Sungi. She has not birdied here yet this week. To be fair, she has played the par 3s well, has dominated 17 with birdies Saturday and Friday. Already has one today at 6.
네, 알겠습니다.
Her last bogey was at 5 yesterday, one of just 3 in the tournament. Eight iron as well for Kim Shi-hyun. And she's just going to find the green. Will she stay on it? No. That rolls down the hill and into the rough. Away they go. Really good efforts, but will leave a 2-footer. Jung Yoon-ji not quite there. She collects her mark and the tap is delivered. There it is. The end of the hole, the end of another on the way in. And as we near the bottom of the clock, it's time for a reset. How things are shaping up at this stage in the final round. So much to be decided, of course. We're about an hour away from the pressure really ratcheting up for the leaders and those on the podium. Even the players who might not quite be challenging for the title. It's the payday, it's the points, it's everything that goes into a major where the pressure is exponentially multiplied. And Rainbow Hills is providing quite the backdrop for the event this week.
들어가겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Kim Shi-hyun is on, but that will not be a simple putt. She already starts to have the gears turn. Yep, that's part of the problem. On the downslope, it ends up almost back in the rough. Not bad, is it? Downhill, never straightforward, but it's a decent one for Kim Shi-hyun. Let's go back to 15. It's Park So-jin hanging on to an even par score, 115 out. A little spin despite the wind. It's all well managed. Focused on the routine. Don't deviate, just execute. Here's No Sungi for birdie. It would move her to the lead. She's not expecting it. We're not expecting it, but we're always ready to be pleasantly surprised. She works the long way back down towards the green. Towards the pin, pardon me, of course. Lee Jung-in, the next at 11. Any one of these potential birdies she could pick up in the next few holes would alleviate some of the pressure as we enter the final trio. Also just short. Well, she'll absolutely be able to work with that. A really aggressive pin placement at the front of the green. Hung-Min-Eun's approach at 12. A fine line and a fine approach. Pressure pack putt for par. Duggan knocks it down. Pak So-jin has a chance to go to 2 under at 15. We'll move right. Not quite enough.
고맙습니다.
감사합니다. 네.
Two putts gets her to the end. No Sungi gets there in 2. Puts herself very close. Yes, one of the most beautiful and dramatic holes, high up, carve out of the mountains, the tee ground.
저 4번으로 바꾸겠습니다.
이번 만들었는데, 이씨. 이거 놓고 산대, 이거.
고맙습니다. 멈춰주세요.
바람이 약간 훅 바람이죠. 약간 한심 때문에 그런 한심. 쉽겠지.
Birdie yesterday, which bucked the trend of pars from the first 2 rounds. Here's Duggan. The gallery's impressed, and why wouldn't you be? Directly down the middle of the fairway. Kim Soo-ji even had a shoulder check to make sure that wasn't going to reach the green.
버튼 미리 눌러주실게요. 카트 멈춰주세요.
Oh, Sung-Yu was not to be outdone.
실례하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요.
And that leaves one. One very notable athlete.
카메라 누르지 말아주세요.
Thursday was a performance to forget. But she followed it up on Friday with a birdie par yesterday. You can still see the group on the green. Grips and rips. Down to the fairway, she hopes. Gets a helpful kick, but that looks like the rough. We'll get a better idea when she gets down there.
박스 올라가지 마세요.
Here's Park Ji-young. This is for par, mind you. It's an important putt. 6 under has her tied for 5th. She will relinquish that. And T5 will become T6 with Kim Soo-ji. Hung Yumin for a bird to go to 9 under. Gotta ride the crest. But it breaks left immediately. From behind the green. Not quite back level, but close. Little bits of extra time preparing for this putt for bogey. No need to rush. She has to officially confirm the bogey and can try to put it behind her. Yoo-hyun Jo with the next putt. It is to save a par and stay at 6 under. She's feeling the weight of the world as she continues to slip further down the ladder. And some of that pressure and nerves influencing the results, which is, of course, bogey. From the edge of the cart path to a perfect position on the green. That's a really well worked approach. Okay, no Sungi, the bar has been set, and it's been set high. She's in the rough after the tee shot. Only 61 meters to go, though. She escapes the tall grass. Doesn't reach the green. Up on the fringe, she'll have the option. She had some company out in the rough. Kim Shi-hyun is also there and is next up. A gentle sweep that takes that downhill ride and it's a long way away. Obviously, this is a difficult pin position today. It's one you want to be in the fairway for, the setup shot. Get the backspin, try to be as close as possible, but when you're in the rough, you make compromises. Is exactly where Lee Dong-eun is. Let's see if she can capitalize on a very good start to this 12th hole. She's up. Glances off the fringe. Yes. Perfection. That birdie would add to what is a very slim gap at the moment. One shot at a time, she'll have for 25 more as she tries to close out this career-defining round. Well, 2:43 p.m. and this second round, or the second half of the round, pardon me. Of course, this is the championship decider, is well and truly underway. Lee Dong-eun's advantage is 1. It might soon be 2. We'll see how she rises up to the moment and if she can build a bit of a cushion between herself and the chasing pack. The Korea Women's Open, 39th playing of it at Rainbow Hills. Back to work we go here at 12. Kim Shi-hyun, the long uphill putts with a lot of break to the right. Gets it close. Obvious relief and excitement with that putt for the birdie. And now No Sungi. She's decided she is going to putt from the fringe here. Can she grab it? Not quite. It's short. Now Park Ji-young from the rough, it's a $125, 125 meters, bounces short. With the wind at her back, she sails closer, but will dive towards the fringe at the end. Now Lee Dong-eun for birdie to extend the lead in this major championship to 2, but she gives herself a bit too much grace to the outside. It's not going to fall. So par is what she settles for. Let's see what Hung Yoo-min can do one hole further along. The second shot of 13. Really good, right at it, get in the hole. Just misses to the right. She'll have a tap in for the bird. Quick departure back to 12. Kim Shi-hyun has her par. This is Pachara Jutar Konkrafan, the tie, one of the 2 in the fields. She's at 2 under. Just a little 58-degree wedge to get it up to the green. The backspin almost halts it in place. No Sungi up and close as she keeps herself right on the doorstep. Here it is up to the edge of the first quarter of the green. Well, in the Mountainside Forest, this Rainbow Hills Country Club has made a very deliberate and artistic cut into the forest. Our leader to set the pace. Intentionally goes left, and that's why. A narrow fairway that's found. Not quite time to worry about really pushing the pace, but No Seung-hee knows a swing has to happen, and not the literal one, but a figurative one, to go on and reassert herself in this final round. It's a good drive. It's nearly a perfect drive.
시작했습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Birdies in each of the last two rounds for Kim Shi-hyun here at 13. One bounce from the fairway and stops in the rough. She went for a little extra distance, and who could falter? Here's Park Ji-young, well short as it doesn't quite crest the hill. Chenna Rhee, she's at 3 under. This is her approach at the 15th. Right at the back right corner, precisely where she wanted and needed to be. Park Ji-young can't avoid back-to-back bogeys as she misses the effort for par. A revolution or two short or wide, I suppose. It's one more tap in to finish the hole. On Park Ji-young, a putt that will see her drop to 4 under. Feeling a bit of the yips in the midway point of the back nine. No Seung-hee approaching 13. Trying to stay right. Just like that. Stay there, ball. Ah, there's gravity doing its thing. That will just about take the one putt off the table.
플레이하겠습니다. 이도 멈춰주세요.
Kim Shi-hyun from the rough is next. 110 and a 52-degree wedge. That'll work out quite all right.
섰나?
선거 같아.
쏜 건가?
Lee Dong-eun is next with a second and 13. Patiently waiting her turn. Stops on the fringe, left and deep. Didn't quite have the judgment as precise as it needed to be. Bajar Jutar, Conquer fan now for birdie. Downhill, it's going to move to the right. She didn't have a read on that, did she? That was a swing and a hope. Let's go to 14 now. Hung Yumin bogeyed yesterday, looking for a bounce back in round 4. Safely into the fairway. And at 15, a little magic. Chunnery back-to-back birdies now as she nears the top 5.
자, 오른쪽 보여요?
EA1, she's down to +3 as the weekend, well, the week in general has been a bit of a struggle. Was hoping to end on a high. Let's go to 17. Bakso Jean still under par at 1 under. It's 19 yards deep, this flag, 4 yards on the left side. She's on well. On the fringe, 13 meters away from the flag. One of these will have to be birdie. I don't know that this is the one. Try to set up the par. A little right to left wind and a left to right break. That's a pretty good effort. Ollier won to wrap up the tournament with a par, +3 after 72 holes. It just was a fight from the first stroke to the end. A few rounds, 3 of them in fact, over for our season's best thus far.
자, 플레이하십니다. 완전 플레이 60에서 60.
Well, it was not the shot she was searching for, was it? All the way to the back, there is a significant tailwind. You can see that flag flapping almost violently. Hung Yu Min has her work cut out for her, pardon me. And back to 13 with our final group, Kim Shi-hyun for a birdie for 11 under. Yes, she's got it. Excellent putt to put the pressure back on. Pak So-jin on the second to last hole. This is a look at 2 under here on the par 3. It will take a rather miraculous putt. Here she goes. Stay straight. A little short and a little off center.
그러니까 여기서는 하려고 했는데 KD에서 하더라고요. 원래 작년에 내가 이렇게 딱 시간에 들어와가지고 작년에 7월 며칠 있었거든요. 거기는
Lee Donghan, it's a bogey, and suddenly things got a whole lot spicier as she relinquishes the lead and returns to 11 under. Let's go to 15. Yoo-hyun Jo past the fairway after the tee shot, looking at the green. She's surprised even the camera operator. She's off into the rough behind it. Now no Seung-hee, she's the co-leader all of a sudden, and she wants to stay there. Short putt for par as the wind picks up. We have 2 amazing storylines emerging. They're simmering. There's still about an hour to go before we have the final verdict. A repeat champ or a brand new champ. It's what Sunday was made for.
오빠 저쪽에 하트 있는 쪽으로 넘기는 게 얼마야?
Well, Hung Yu-min from the opposite corner of this green. Distance-wise, it was nearly perfect. It'll be easy from there. Kim Shi-hyun also in the three-way tie for the top spot, beginning her 14th. Park Young, it's been a big recovery effort. She's up to 3 under and approaching the 18th and final hole. It goes to the back left corner and stops on the fringe.
네.
Well, how does she handle the pressure, the adversity of the bogey? Clearly, it didn't detract her from a strong tee shot at the very next.
네, 알겠습니다. 버튼 미리 눌러줄게요.
Possible to overplay a tee shot. That's the example of it as it skips up the fairway and into the rough. No Seung-hee. Simple tap in. Hung Yoo-min has the par and keeps herself very much in the fight. Now Yoo-hyun Jo just escapes the rough. It's such a tricky shot that if you're short, you're basically back at square one. But the distance, the weight has to be perfect because the other side of the coin is that.
더라도 확실하게 쳐줘. 지나가 필요가 없으니까.
Park Young from the fringe, inching ever closer, but stopping short.
약간 왼쪽 아니에요? 시작은 슬슬.
Yuhyun Jo at 15. Oh, so close. One putt more, one stroke more than she wanted, and there's some understandable frustration emanating. She's done one of everything, Hung Yumin, at 15 this week. Bogey, par, birdie. Trickles into the rough as she goes towards the end of the fairway yet again. Thicker than we thought after the tee shot for No Sung-hee. This is proper rough. 8 iron is her decision. 117 and a drastic change of elevation, which is not unusual here at Rainbow Hills. Can't get back into the fairway, but avoids the bunker, trying to reach the green depth-wise. She was on the money.
라운드 넘기는 게 얼마예요? 아 맞다. 필리핀은 74고 핑이 80.
필리핀은 70,
80만 치면 돼요?
80만 맞지. 이만 떠고.
핑크리어도 괜찮아.
그래도 짧은 게 낫긴 한데 그래도 핀 캐리하는 게 나을 것 같아. 일단 좀 보고.
Kim Chae-hyun, the final adjustments, understanding all the variables. She has in her hand a 58-degree wedge. It's her second shot at 14. She is at the top of the leaderboards. Can she take that spot for herself? You're allowed to be selfish on Sunday. A little bit deeper than would have been ideal. And we'll have a lengthy putt for a birdie. Well, it is 3:16 p.m. in the afternoon here in Numsung-gun. The final round, not just underway, but into crunch time. And we are no closer to an answer of who's going to win this thing than we were when we started. In fact, it might be a little more convoluted now. No Sung-hee, Kim Chae-hyun, Lee Dong-eun, all at 11 under, 2 strokes clear of Hung Yumin. Let's take a break and come back clear-eyed and bushy-tailed at Rainbow Hills. Well, here we are at 14. 5 holes to play, a major championship to be decided. This is the 39th Korea Women's Open. Park Ji-young down at 4 under after a couple of tough holes back to back. She's playing her second. Kisses the fringe and comes back down. This is what she has been waiting for. What a shot. No Seung-hee, a co-leader, the defending champion. What pressure must she be feeling at the moment? It's a treacherous screen with that bunker at the back right. Hung Yumin is going about her business, keeping herself close to the podium. So how did Lee Dong-eun get here? Let's revisit the second shot. Down the backspin. So yes, this would count for birdie. That's not front of mind though. Being close is 12.5 the distance on this putt. Long backswing as she tries to climb back up the hill. Well, just when you think things are gonna get dicey, birdie number 3 arrives when we least expect it. 12.5 meters. What a putt. Here it comes again. She knew she was going to crest and then was hoping and believing as she saw it descend down into the cup. It's a perfect putt at the perfect time. And it wasn't her intention, of course, but that was suddenly a challenge issued to Kim Si-hyun. We know the path it'll take. Come on, ball. A little more speed. Just stop short. So the chaser returns to the mindset, the game plan that's been for most of the round. Settles for a par. She also has 3 birdies, but she's down to 4 holes. Will it be enough? Hung Yumin playing a pitch from off the green with her 3rd. No Seung-hee with 2 putts. She has to grit her teeth and understand that she now is 2 off the pace after that bogey. Let's go to 15. Hung Yumin, this is a putt for par to stay at 9 under. Will swoop right to left. Too much break. She feels snake bitten, and you can understand why. Well, there's no denying that the calculus has changed after a borderline miraculous birdie for Lee Dong-eun. Sends that drive past the fairway into the rough. The pressure, yes, it will only continue to increase. Birdie every day at 15. She's a perfect 3 for 3. Perfect tee shot up onto the hillside. This is the leg burner, the cardio tester, very significantly uphill. Park Ji-young here at 15 for 5 under. She needed that. It's the unofficial reset after 2 bogeys, 12 and 13. She had a quad at 4, and that's when the round, the quest disintegrated on her. She has been in the fight ever since, just to get back. 4 given away on 1 hole is such a difficult thing that we can all understand for any athlete to come to terms with and deal with, quite frankly, especially on Sunday. Birdies on Thursday and Friday. Bogey yesterday for Hung Yumin here at 16, this par 5. Very narrow fairway, not the most welcoming. She ends up in the rough between the two. And now we'll go to 18. Park So-jin. This is for 2 under. The closest amateur to her is at +6, so she knows she's won that title. Adds a little punctuation. T9 with the 70 on Sunday. Great week. She should be immensely proud of all of her efforts at Rainbow Hills. Here's No Sungi. Isn't going to be able to escape the rough. She's short of the dance floor. Lee Dong-eun trying not to make a mistake to compound. She's short. The rough grabs it. And we'll bring her close to the sand. Back right pin placement today is unforgiving for anyone off the fairway. Kim Shi-hyun. She's also caught by the tall grass monster. You know you're uphill when they need to add an extension to the flag just so you can see it from the fairway. Well, it is a natural place for a break. We're getting a little bit of delineation, but certainly it's close. Lee Dong-eun, 1 stroke clear of Kim Shi-hyun. No Sungi after that bogey, 2 strokes back. It's a 4-shot difference to Hung Yoo-min in 4th and Park Ji-young at 5 under. Back in a few minutes. The Rainbow Hills Country Club, the 39th Korea Women's Open. All right, right back to it. Lee Dong-eun in the sand trap, right of the green. Pretty close to the perfect shot. Oh, just an inch, maybe, to the inside. Never in her wildest dreams did she envision that. One more look. You knew from the start the ball flight was going to be helpful. And then the perfectly timed hit of the slope back towards the pin. Is that a sign of things to come? I mean, it's a sign of things that have been, but she's still, after this tap-in, will have 3 more. She's been patient, applying her trade, constantly working, constantly tinkering like any professional golfer must do. This might be the day that it all comes together. 16, the par 5, Yoo-Hyun Jo is in the sand trap. That 4-under score has her down to T6. She's +2 today. With speed, she crests the hill. No, she doesn't. It looked promising, but it wasn't enough. She'll be back in the bottom left corner. No Seung-Hee at 15, meanwhile, most of the way back up. Yoo-Hyun Jo at 16. This is for birdie. Now it needs to stop. Okay, she can work with that. Well, at 15, no Seung-Hee. She is hungry for these birdies as she tries to keep pace. It's not quite there. Tap in finish. Park Ji-young outdrove the fairway at 16. She tries to reach, but it's well short. Kim Shi-hyun, 4th in the par saves this week. She tries for another, and she's got it. Well, Hang Yoo-min also too long off the tee. That's making a mistake into an even bigger mistake. The wind at her back didn't help her.
슬라이스 아빠랑 보면 되고.
거의 제대로 되지. 치워버려?
Well, she could not have been any closer to the end of the fairway if she tried. But as a result, it's setting up perfectly for her. Hybrid in hand, Hung Min. And she's sitting up perfectly because of a bit of a nightmare off the tee. Here's 5. She had no choice but to try to reach. It's short, avoids the sand. At 3:45 local time, 15 holes down, 3 holes to go. A par 5, a par 3, and a par 4, and the lead is just one. Lee Dong-eun from Kim Si-hyun, competing for each of their respective first major titles. Can't count out No Seung-hee, though she is 3 back at this stage in the event. Time for a break. Back with more at Rainbow Hills in a moment. Well, it's down to 3 as we welcome you back to the 39th Korea Women's Open. Lee Dong-eun, only one birdie here so far this week as she launches it down the hill. And she does it perfectly. As you'd expect, she's leading in this incredibly difficult fields on this perfectly defined course. 300 million won. Park Ji-young, after 2 shots, finds herself in the sand. She blasts it up and rides the crest to the top, but not all the way to the top. It slips back to the fringe. Kim Shi-hyun will go next. She has parred it every day since Thursday. And she is left up towards the bushes. Well, the walk down is already on. We can quickly go rapid fire style. No swinging the last. That is it for the featured group on 16. Everyone's down. Everyone's on the march. Type of course that the world's most famous artists would find envy in capturing. Rainbow Hills Country Club, a Robert Trent Jr. designed 27-hole piece of paradise. Well, after 54, Hung Yoo-min knew she was there or thereabouts, but it just not has all been stitched together today. This is where we're headed. 17 wasn't the tee shot that she had envisioned. The second shot is delightful. Park Ji-young now at 16. It is a putt for birdie. She's up, and she's just about level with the flag. Three meters, perhaps, the putt for par. No Sungin knows she needs to switch gears to stay in the fight. Hung Yoo-min doing her final reconnaissance. This is for bogey. She knows it's at least 7 under. She's got a bit of a gap on Park Ji-young for 5th. This is her unofficial waving of the white flag. Nice save. Simple finish to a frustrating hole, frustrating round.
괜찮나? 감도가?
sport is sometimes a hurry up and wait environment. Easier said than done when big money and big prestige are on the line. This is what they're waiting for. Well, the tap-in finish, Pak Ji-young. And now the green will clear. No Seung-hee, her second here at the par 5. She needs the woods. Well, she went for it all, but ends up in the sand. Lee Duggan is next. Does she try to go for it? Or with the lead, does she play a little bit of caution? The club might suggest safety at the end of the fairway, and this very approachable green says otherwise. She goes past and into the rough.
라이트랑 벙커
We'll take us to Kim Shi-hyun, 198. You know she's going for it. Maybe not. That distance you'd expect it, but she's doing one of the hardest things, and that's to not overplay. Getting so close to the lead, so close to the win. Well, this stage in the tournament, it's more than just a walk. It's a conscious effort not to overthink or overplay. That's relevant for multiple people in this group. Well, we're ready for Kim Shi-hyun. This is number 3 on the par 5. Floated up well. The wedge gets to do its thing.
자, 그럼 제발
At 17, the final par 3, Park Ji-young off. To the back. We knew she was in the sand. Here's the literal representation of what that looks like. No Sungi just short. It's hard packed. Not this soft, billowy sand that novelists and directors would dream of. It's 34 meters. Catches it a bit too pure, in fact. Able to get back onto the putting surface, or reach it, I suppose. It's all relative.
자, 플레이하겠습니다. 이제 카메라 버튼 누르지 말아주세요.
작은 거 아마 잘 맞아서.
아니야, 거긴 아까. 여기.
17, Hung Yumin -7. And a 7 iron, we love symmetry. We appreciate it when it presents itself. But half the way deep and 7 yards from the left. Very much a rough lie. It's going to pick up speed on its way to the pin as it goes downhill. Barely clears the fringe. That's why. It's somehow aggressive and safe. She has found that perfect nexus. There's the tap in to finish. Let's see if No Sung-hee can have even a modicum of that weight control. It's pretty close. She'll take it. Well, everyone wants a piece of Lee Dong-eun at the minute, and who can blame them?
플레이하겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Well, she's running out of time to reapply the pressure. Kim Shi-hyun for a birdie at 16. 12 under awaits, but it would take something special. It's on its way, and with a little more pace, the line likely would have behaved. And Bak Ji-young, one hole further along, also just a bit soft. And Oh Seung-hee, this shouldn't move much in either direction. She needs it for par. Good putt for last year's champ. She wasn't really in the collective consciousness of the fields or the viewers when she started the day, but she has methodically worked her way up and is on the fringe of the repeats. Kim Shi-hyun with a nice putt to finish it. A par. She pushes it to 17. This is Hung Yumin for 8 under. The birdie putt at 17 is going to go. Back in the fight after back-to-back bogeys. It's sole possession of 4th. Bak Ji-young for a par. Should expect to make that. She does make that. She's off to 18. Hole 72. Immediately on the horizon. Let's take a flashback. 17 is no guarantee, ladies and gentlemen. When it works well, it can be very helpful. When it doesn't, well, you end up on the flashback rail. Tee shot to the sand, second shot all the way across and off into the bushes. Okay, so you find that ball and you say, can't get worse from here. Just get up and down, except in your backswing, the branches are there and you're shooting back suddenly to the opposite width. Everyone around is trying not to react or make it a big deal. The reason we show you that is not to shame the player who's suffered those troubles, but it's just to remind us that, especially on Sunday, there's no guarantee until the final putt's made. We know where the pin is, we've seen it. It's 16 yards from the back or 19 yards off the front, depending on your perspective, and 4 from the left side. 7 iron for Lee Dong-eun. Her only birdie here this week was on Thursday. She's on the green without rocking the boat too much. She's earned that right.
카메라 파워도
카메라랑 핀 사이에 랜딩해도 괜찮아.
Seven iron as well for Kim Shi-hyun, also a player who only found birdie here on Thursday. Bogey even yesterday. She leaves it in the rear view. Good on. Last to tee off is No Sung-hee. Six iron, as she knows she doesn't quite have the same distance as her peers. She's well off the green, and the sand, I think, is the likely result of that tee shot. It's the final hole for our terrific tie in the field this week. 380 meters further back, Hang Yumin teeing off and finding the fairway. The width of the green to traverse stops about 2 meters short. Well, it's a memorable week. It's an important week, even if it's not the crowning moment. It's a case study in how to operate in a major. The ominous zoom in to the sand, yes. That is what has befallen one of the players you would expect to be in this position, certainly after how she navigated the back nine last year. It was a 71 for her last year after back-to-back-to-back 68s. Here she goes. Catches it perfectly. But that's the degree of difficulty, trying to get up and down from the hazard. Will be a prove it putt next. Two birdies here at 18 for Puck. Ji Young so far this week. She'll fancy a third for the road. This is where they're all headed. Petra Jutar, PK as she's known. One last stroke, one last putt to end it. 74 is unfortunately her worst round of the week. It comes at an inopportune time. Well, next to bow out is Yoo Hyun Jo. She shoots back-to-back rounds of 74. It's 6th position and 4 under after 72 holes. Lee Dong-eun at 13 under. She won't even be expecting to see 14, but she'll try for it anyways. Oh! It's the mark of a champion. Every putt is at least making you think about getting out of your seat.
인라인 보고 딱 잘 들어야 돼.
She's 15 minutes away from euphoria or heartbreak. That's how Sundays work. Twice a runner-up last year. Is today the day? Kim Shi-hyun, she's not out of it. Do some quick math. Birdie here and birdie 18. Yes, that's easy on paper. She's still in this fight. That won't help the cause, though, unfortunately.
뒤에 멈춰주세요. 뒤에 멈춰주세요.
And No Seung-hee with a tricky putt to stay at 9 under. Uphill with break. Not to be. Well, we've known for a few holes, but if there was any lingering doubt, that extinguishes it. And you can see the frustration on her face. Well, Kim Shi-hyun at this point knows she can't do worse than P2. That in its own right is an accomplishment and quite the payday. 120 million won for the runner-up, and she is 1 hole away from securing it. Simple tap in to bring her to the end of 71, and that's a little bit of a smile escaping. Her caddy's trying to keep her grounded. They're both still not quite ready to celebrate, but it's so close. It's within touching distance. 139 for Pak Ji-young at 5 under, left located pin today. She skips off the green and into the rough. Hung Yumin, 9 iron, 8 under, 18. Brushes the fringe, more than that, she ends up on the fringe. Well, it all comes down to this hole 72. So here's how Dungan's round looks, or a teaser of how the round looks. That's what we're preparing. From the tee shot all the way down, you're aiming for the clubhouse. Water hazard on the left. Right side of the green is safest. But this is a major, so it's not going to be given to anyone. 6 yards from the left, and that is a left to right breaking putt back towards the rocks. You thought we were done, pardon me, with the flashbacks? Think again. 72 is always the most difficult, not just the setup or the actual hole itself, but the pressure that comes with it. So here's the very basic math. 2 strokes on a par 4. Bogey and you're all but guaranteed a playoff par, and the tournament's yours. Hung Yumin is bowed out. No Sungi won't be able to reach. 5 strokes back. It's a 2-player race. She has made the long drives her bread and butter, her calling card. But even this player with so much power is saying, I don't need the driver. Don't overcomplicate it, just get to the end. Fade to the rough, the hillside rough. Front row seats for those on the cart path. She can't help but find the humor in it. Saying, I'm not going to make this easy on myself, am I? All the focus for Kim Ji-hyun has to be just par. Birdie forces the issue, but just par. Suddenly, after a tee shot like that, maybe you can dream. Get to 12 and see if there's a mistake. Sungi knows what it's like to be on this hole with these conditions and this pressure. Last year was her big moment. She joins Lee Dong-eun in the rough. Now from the back of the green, chipping it to a putt for par. She is always a factor
여기 시작 좀.
in the final round of a major. Park Ji-young just ran out of gas. Hung Yoo-min putting for birdie, 14 meters out from the fringe here at 18. Well, the primary objective is to hole it. The secondary objective is to be close, and she achieves it. Hung Yoo-min for a par to end the tournament. She fought it today. 34, 36, 4 birdies, 2 bogeys. Just not enough. Yesterday really set her back. It was always going to be a fight. Scratching and clawing. Lee Dong-eun is doing everything she can to just treat this like any other hole, but it's not. That's the challenge for a potential first-time victor. Park Ji-young at 5 under. She'll stay there with a par. This will move left to right for us, right to left for her. 5th. What could have been if not for that quad at 4.
엣지가 몇이에요?
104. 104 이상만 치면 넘어. 저 바이크 라인으로 들어가서 충분히 우측으로 밀어넣어주거든. 기구로.
자, 플레이하겠습니다.
Well, the relative silence speaks volumes. A respectful gallery, a gallery that is also probably trying to put themselves in Idungan's shoes. So close to a career dream, one that even the best don't always accomplish. From the rough, 7 iron. If driving is her calling card, irons are her next closest. Little extra torque. She avoids the sand, but misses right. She's got some company down there. Can always dream of what it would feel like. No Sungi knows. You don't really know until it's you. .48-degree wedge for Kim Shi-hyun. Right to the center of the dance floor. Good approach.
우측으로 쭉.
So if she makes that putt, it's a birdie. And she's in with a sliver of a chance. No Sungi's approach is next. Just in behind Kim So-hyun. It's a good one.
아니네. 아까 아니야?
Well, the final group has arrived on 18. The announcements will be made, and this tournament will be decided in the next 2 minutes.
루키 김시현 선수입니다. 조합통산 2승, 지난해 바로 이 대회에서 세계 첫 승을 차지했던 노승희 선수입니다.
Well, that's the lie. It's unenviable, but not insurmountable. This is Lee Dong-eun's third. 27 meters away. Get up and down. Par would be hers, and it would be enough. So would bogey. We ended on a moment of magic, very close. Yeah, I'm one away. That acknowledgement to her caddy. The teamwork all week long, from the Pro-Am, the practice rounds, to the center stage. Well, 1 year ago, the spotlight could not have been brighter on No Seung-hee. All the credit in the world to No Seung-hee for making her supporters believe the repeat was on the cards. But even for someone who's done it, it's no walk in the park. On the 18th at Rainbow Hills, it's made dreams come true. Kim Shi-hyun was hoping today that she would be the protagonist. I always love the final shots of the runner-up because you marvel at what she did all week, and yet you feel for her a little bit. A birdie at the last. 70 in the final round. As the teenager, it wasn't just a dream, it was a distinct possibility. But sometimes in life and sometimes in golf, you have to wait your turn. This is an example of persistence, dedication, and never letting the speed bumps detract you from your mission. Lee Dong-eun, who last year finished as the runner-up twice, came so close she could almost taste it. This year already 3 times on the podium, but this moment is all hers. A champion and a major champion. Lee Dong-eun wins the Korea Women's Open.
야, 나 이거 뿌려야 원래 얼굴 뿌린데. 너무 잘했어. 감사합니다.
She's been here as a winner, but that was on the Dream Tour, and it counts, but it's different. To put it together for 4 days, 72 holes on an infamously challenging course, and to stand as the leader on the top step It's a lifelong path, it's a lifelong journey, and she's finally done it. And she deserves every moment of this celebration. It's relief, it's euphoria. And it's a feeling that so few ever get to experience. What a win, what a performance.
여기도 한 번만 봐주세요. 여기 와주세요.
네, 감사합니다.
I don't think it's possible for it to set in so fast. What she's done, she could retire now and remain forever in illustrious company and elusive air. She's a major champion. And she had to scratch and claw, not just today, but years for this moment. Well, the week in, week out supporters understand what's next. The scorecard has to be signed. The green has to be prepared. We'll go through the final round highlights and the leaderboard. This is when we get to sit back and appreciate. And there's something beautiful about No Seung-hee being in this group, being so close, but passing the trophy on. So forgive us as we step back and soak in the atmosphere with you. There are few things in sports quite like this. Here's how it looks unofficially, but what we know is what you're seeing right now. Lee Dong-eun, the champion by 1. Kim Si-hyun, the rookie, the incredible rookie, comes so close, ends 1 stroke off. Park Young-kyung, you just saw her name, saved her best for last at the weekend. Into the top 10. So in short order, we will hear from Lee Dong-eun, her championship interview. The highlights will follow in the awards presentation shortly thereafter. The 39th Korea Women's Open has come to a close. It came down to the wire, just as we want for a Sunday.
시현 선수 35, 39, 70
네.
지수가 잘 나와요. 이동훈 선수 34, 35, 60부터입니다. 고생 많으셨고요. 저기 스폰서분들한테 좀 감사하다고 인사 전해주면서 수영이가 아마 데이트가 있을 거예요.
오늘요?
바뀌어주세요. 아니 오늘 말고요.
아.
인사에서 바뀌어주세요.
네네.
수고 많으셨습니다. 네.
Well, the moment, the crowning moment, Lee Dong-eun tapping in for the par and becoming a champion, a major champion. It's so rare that you get to see dreams realized as they happen. There are not enough words to describe the dedication, the sacrifice, the tenacity, the resilience it takes. There are few things sweeter than seeing someone finally get their hands on a trophy, don the sports jacket, and accomplish a lifelong mission as it happens. It's one of the many beautiful things we love about this sport. The backdrop, the emotion, the incredible athleticism, and everything it takes to do what Lee Dong-eun has just done.
네, 안녕하세요. 감사합니다.
There she is, Lee Dong-eun, with her championship interview.
네. 일단 이번 대회 제가 우승할 거라고는 전혀 생각을 안 하고 있었는데, 근데 뭔가 이번 대회는 좀 다른 대회와 다르게 좀 차분하게 임했던 것 같아요. 그러다 보니까 잘 풀렸던 것 같습니다. 네. 아무래도 이번 코스가 좀 정확도를 요구하는 코스이기 때문에 좀 장타보다는 좀 정확도에 포커스를 두었습니다. 네. 좀 보기 이후에 좀 다운되는 상황이었는데 이제 롱퍼터 남겨둔 상황에서 뭔가 들어갈 것 같다라는 느낌은 있었거든요. 근데 그게 진짜 들어갈 줄은 몰랐어요. 네. 일단 퍼터 그립을 좀 견고하게 잡았고요. 그리고 이제 거리 맞추는 거에 집중하다 보니까 많이 떨어진 것 같습니다. 네. 네, 맞아요. 작년에 우승 경쟁을 많이 놓쳤어가지고 아쉬움이 컸었는데 그것도 저의 좀 성장하기 위한 발판이었다 생각했습니다. 그래서 좀 참고 좀 인내하면서 이제 제 할 거 하다 보니까 이렇게 너무 좋은 결과가 온 것 같아요. 이제 일단 올해 목표는 1승이었는데 이렇게 빨리 우승을 하게 되어서 다승을 목표로 잡고 이제 열심히 하겠습니다. 무엇보다 고생한 우리 엄마 아빠 진짜 진짜 작년부터 이렇게 힘든 생활을 옆에서 누구보다 같이 응원해주고 그 덕분에 정말 이렇게 우승할 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 그리고 저희 메인 스폰서인 SBI 김문석 대표님 아마추어 때부터 이렇게 후원해 주셔서 너무 감사하고요. 네. 죄송합니다. 긴장해가지고. 그냥 저희 부모님 외에도 이제 저희 큰아빠, 큰엄마 그리고 이렇게 오늘 첫날부터 마지막 날까지 이렇게 응원해주신 저희 팬분들 너무 감사하다고 말하고 싶고요. 그냥 다 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다.
There's always something markedly special about watching someone realize and understand the gravity of the moment when you hear the words, "You're a champion, you've won." It takes these incredible athletes out of the headspace of, well, golfer with a job to do. Well, she's done the job. She's smashed it, in fact. Lee Dong-eun, the champion. Let's see how we got there. The final round highlights. It was not a cakewalk. It was not handed to her. She had to earn it. No Seung-hee, speaking of earning it, she knew how to get to the winner's circle. In fact, just 2 holes into the round, she was back on top, as she was so often last year. But golf is never linear, pardon me. It's never easy. And it would require 18 holes after 54 of them to solidify the deservedness of a champion. 10 under so early in the round. And while all of this happened before we started our portion of the broadcast on air, I think anyone who was leaderboard surfing, keeping the closest of eyes on the proceedings, knew it was going to be tight. Lee Dong-eun would finally have her first birdie on hole number 4. She'd go to 11 under and just kept answering the call. Every time the bar was raised, like an Olympic high jumper, she would just keep beating it, surpassing it. And she was tested. No Seung-hee with a birdie at 6. Kim Shi-hyun, we can't forget about her. She was very much a main character in this final round. Also, not a slow start, not a poor start, but took her a few holes to get that first birdie. It came at 3. She'd have another at 5. And kept herself very much in contention. Lee Dong-eun, as she neared the turn, would do exactly what it took, seemingly right when the questions would start to be asked. Birdies and push, birdies and push. A 12 under mark, it would be a bit of a down for Kim Shi-hyun at 9, as she would bogey before the midway mark. Credit to her for not letting it derail her. It's okay, I got some time, do the reset, go through the progressions, and just go back to work. And she would go back to work. Birdieing 10 to move within 1. This, of course, was one of the electrifying shots of the round from a player who knows how to win. She's shown us on multiple occasions. Kim Shi-hyun, meanwhile, at 12, would have another birdie to finally get back under par. In unfortunate thing for her was that Lee Dong-eun was just that little extra on top of things today. That's not to say she was faultless. That was a missed par at 12, dropping her back into a three-way tie for the lead. But this at 14, something out of a fairy tale. It's not just that it was double digits, it was 15 meters plus, bouncing back from the bogey, retaking the lead. And even when the approaches or the drives went awry and she was in the rough or she was in the sand, it didn't shake her confidence one bit. So much so that we thought she was going to hole out from the sand there. She got it into tap-in range. Would take that par at 15, extend the advantage, keep it for one more hole, just as everyone else around her started to falter, show some cracks in the foundation, some chinks in the armor. This, of course, was on the mountainous 14th. And that would be another reason to believe, yeah, maybe this is my day. On 16, over-hitting the green, coming to rest in the tall grass. Say, okay, just need a chip and a putt, take the par, and force the issue, push it one more hole. Every single putt that would rattle the cup was one step closer. And by the time she reached 18, she knew she had a two-stroke advantage. She just needed to bogey, and that would have been enough. But true to form, second shot found the tall grass, but she would escape to within a tap-in's distance. Kim Shi-hyun would also add one more for the memories. 35 and 35, 2 under in the final round, but it was not enough, as Lee Dong-eun would have her par and secure the title. The winner of the 39th Korea Women's Open Golf Championship presented by DB Group is the incredibly well-deserving Lee Dong-eun, who finally reaches the top of the mountain. Well, we're ready for the awards presentation on the 18th green. Let's listen in and enjoy.
먼저 오늘 공동 주최사인 DB그룹 김남호 회장이 발의하셨습니다. 또 공동 주최사이죠. 대한골프협회 강영호 회장이 발의하셨습니다. DBINC 문덕식 사장이 발의하셨습니다. 선수에게 훌륭한 코스를 제공해주신 레인보우 힐스 윤승규 대표님 발의하셨습니다. 다음은 주간 방송사인 SBS골프 이상계 대표님 발의하셨습니다. 마지막으로 이번 대회를 펼쳐진 은성군 조병욱 군수님 함께하셨습니다. 박수의 말씀에도 선정해 주셔서 감사합니다. 특별사 먼저 시작을 하겠습니다. 밀리 베이스 시상인데요. 시상에는 DBINC 문덕식 사장님께서 도움 주시겠습니다. 앞으로 모시겠습니다. 밀리 베이스를 기록한 선수는 1라운드 임현조, 2라운드 김시현, 3라운드 우승이 최종 라운드 권기훈 선수가 기록했습니다. 4명의 선수를 대표해 김시현 선수가 수상하겠습니다. 김시현 선수 앞으로 나와주시죠. 이라운드 데이비스를 기록한 김시현 선수에게는 내년 올림픽에서 개최하는 배우사운드 플로어가 지원됩니다. 기념 촬영하겠습니다. 네, 축하드립니다. 문덕식 사장님 감사합니다. 계속해서 특별한 시상식 2월 가운데 있습니다. 자, 올해는 홀인원이 나왔을까요? 네, 홀인원이 나왔습니다. 홀인원은 1라운드 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 네, 바로 어제 홀런이 나왔는데요. 이번에 한들이 4개월 모두 상품이 걸려 있었습니다. 갈색홀은 6번홀이었고요. 덕시아나에서 제공하는 프리미엄 침대의 주인공, 지금 바로 만나보겠습니다. 시상에는 음성분 조병 교수님께서 도와주시겠습니다. 덕시아나 프리미엄 침대의 주인공, 바로 정소희 선수입니다. 축하합니다. 네, 과상역판에 처음으로 홀인원을 기록했는데요. 정소희 선수, 조병 교수님께서 침대를 전달해 주시겠습니다. 지속가능한 편안함을 제공하는 세계에서 가장 편안한 침대, 덕시아나 프리미엄 침대입니다. 덕시아나는 1926년 스웨덴에서 시작해 100년 가까운 역사를 자랑하며 최상의 스페인과 최고급 자재를 짜는 프리미엄 침대를 드립니다. 네, 정소희 선수 축하합니다. 좋은 기세를 계속하고 이어가기를 기원하겠습니다. 이번 대회는 아마추어 선수들도 많이 참가를 했죠. 국가대표 선수들이 6명이나 참가를 했는데요. 이번에는 베스트 아마추어에 대한 시상이 있겠습니다. 시상은 대한골프협회 강영호 회장님, SBS골프 이상규 대표님께서 도와주시겠습니다. 네, 두 분 앞으로 모실게요. 그러면 수상자 발표하겠습니다. 베스트 아마추어는 4라운드 합계 2원 타를 기록했습니다. 국가대표 박선진 선수입니다. 여러분 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다. 여러분께서 어떤 박수를 기록했죠? 먼저 대한골프협회 강영호 회장님께서 트로피를 전달해 주시겠습니다.
자, 앞으로 예, 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다. 이어서 SBS골프 이상규 대표님께서 축하의 꽃다발을 전달해 주시겠습니다. 네, 함께 그 사진
자, 앞으로 네, 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
네, 축하드립니다. 수상 도와주신 분 감사드리고요. 박선진 선수 앞으로도 대한민국의 미래가 되기를 기대해 보겠습니다. 드디어 마지막 시간, B그룹 제39회 한국여성부 골프선수권대회 우승자 시간을 진행하겠습니다. B그룹 김광호 회장님, 대한골프협회 강영호 회장님께서 도와주시겠습니다. 네, 그럼 우승자 발표하겠습니다. B그룹 제39회 한국여성부 명예 우승자 1라운드 68차, 2라운드 70타, 3라운드 68타, 최종 라운드 69타, 토탈 13원 더타를 기록했습니다. 이용현 선수입니다. 먼저 B그룹 김광호 회장님께서 우승자의 상징인 그린 자켓을 입혀주시겠습니다. 네, 손성 B그룹 김광호 회장님께서 우승 상금도 전달을 해주시겠습니다. 메이저 대회만큼 상금이 크죠. 8억 원의 우승 상금을 전달합니다. 기록 촬영하겠고요. 감사합니다. 이상호 회장님께서는 옆으로 한 걸음 이동해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 이어서 대한골프협회 강영호 회장님께서 수혜배를 전달해 주시겠습니다. 그동안의 역사가 담겨있는 수혜배죠. 이동훈 선수가 저희 공연을 해드리게 되겠습니다. 계속해서 꽃다발도 전달을 해주시겠습니다.
자, 앞으로 네, 자, 잘한다.
기념 촬영하겠습니다.
감사합니다.
이어서 이상호 회장님과 강영호 회장님 모두 부채사의 두분 함께 우승자와 사진 촬영하겠습니다. 강영호 회장님과 함께 촬영하겠습니다.
자, 앞에 보세요. 네, 자, 잘한다. 하나, 둘.
감사합니다. 마지막으로 시상을 도와주신 모든 내빈분들과 이동훈 선수 함께 사진 촬영하겠습니다.
자, 촬영하겠습니다. 앞에 보세요. 촬영하겠습니다. 앞에 보세요. 자, 촬영합니다. 하나, 둘.
사진 찍어주실까요?
Well, for perpetuity, Lee Dungan's name has been added to quite the distinguished list of champions of the national tournament. Of course, she was not the only one to be honored, nor should she be, as this was a competition that saw 11 amateurs in the field, and Pak So-jin in her remarkable T10 finish overall, but amateur championship, as she was unflappable. Even after a 77 yesterday, she did not let it detract her from what had been a monumental week of her own. But the story, of course, is Lee Dungan. 68, 70, 68, 69 for a 275 aggregate score and the honor of finishing as the winner of the 39th Korea Women's Open. Well, the best part is, as much as we're sad to see this tournament come to an end, we don't have to wait long to get back to the action on the KLPGA Tour, as we are just a few days away from another tournament beginning. We'll head to the Heaven. What a title. What a name for a facility, for the Heaven Masters. It will be a 3-round competition for another big-time purse of 1 billion won. 120 players in the field. Pae So-hyun, the defending champion. But there's always something a little extra special about a major. Lee Dungan learned it. She lived it, just as we got to experience it. And how lucky are we to be along for the ride. I want to thank you, as always, for being a part of this DB Group 39th Korea Women's Open, and for making this tour what it is, one of the best across the world of golf. For the entire KLPGA Tour Committee and everyone that made this broadcast possible, we thank you, and we invite you to be back with us on Friday. But for now, it's so long. Lee Dungan, the champion, the mightiest of congratulations.